Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are leveling up. I am walking you through the entire UI/UX design process from start to finish in a super simple and beginner friendly way. If you have ever wondered how UI and UX actually come together in real world projects, this video is going to make everything clear. So let's get started. Before we jump into the steps, let's quickly talk about why understanding this process actually matters. When you follow a clear UI/UX process, you create better designs, you gain real world skills that companies actually look for, you have a clear structure to follow, and most importantly, you make confident design decisions. This isn't just theory, this is how professional designers work. So, with that in mind, let's start with the step 1, which is understanding the problem and doing user research. This is where every good design truly begins. Before we think about colors, buttons, layouts, the first job of a designer is to understand the user problem. Great design doesn't start with how something looks. It starts with the learning who the user is, what they are trying to do, what's stopping them, and how can we make that experience better. In this stage, we explore who the target audience is, their goals, their struggles, and how they use the similar apps. We read reviews and ask simple but powerful questions like what the user want, what's getting in the way, and how we can make this easier. There is no UI design here yet. No screens, no colors, just understanding the user's world. And the better your research is, the smoother the entire design process becomes. So we move into the next step, which is user personas. Once you have gathered all your research, it's time to turn your information into something clear and meaningful. And that's exactly what your persona does. A user persona is basically a simple profile that represents your ideal user. Think of it as a fictional character based on your real data. It helps you design for people, not assumptions. A good persona includes things like their name, age, what they want to achieve, what frustrates them, and what they expect from your app. For example, let's think we are designing an e commerce app. A persona might look like this. Ria, of age 25, loves online shopping but gets frustrated when apps having confusing navigations or too many steps during checkout. This small profile gives you a clear target. Whenever you are unsure about your design, you can look at the persona and ask, would this make sense for them? Would they understand this? Would this solve their problem? Like these questions. Personas keep you focused and make your design choices intentionally. And even though they look simple, they are one of the most important parts of the UX design. Now let's moving on to the step 3, which is creating the user flow and mapping the user journey. This is the step where we figure out how the user will move throughout the app. Before we design anything visually, we need to understand the exact path of the user. Think of a user flow like a map. It shows every step of the user goes through, from the moment they open the app to the moment they finish what they came to do. For example, in an e-commerce app, a simple user flow might look like this. Open the app, search for a product, view details, add to cart and check out, payment and order confirmation. This helps us to see what screens we actually need, where each screen connects, and how users move from one step to another. This helps you to understand the app structure and ensures the experience feels smooth and logical. And just like personas, user flow are the part of UX. No colors, no UI design it. This is the planning phase, and the better you plan, better your final design becomes. Let's move on to the step 4, which is wireframing. This is where your ideas finally start turning into something visual, but in a very simple, rough, and structural way. Wireframes are basically the blueprint of your app or website. No colors, no fancy elements, no images, just only the layout. Think of wireframes as sketching the structure of your house before painting the walls. You decide where the header goes, where the buttons will be, how the content is arranged, and how the user moves between screens. In this stage, everything is kept simple. Images instead of boxes, lines instead of text, basic shapes instead of final design. For example, in our e-commerce app, a wireframe may look like a search bar at the top, product cards in the center, a navigation bar at the bottom, and a minimal product details layout. The purpose of wireframing is to focus on function, not appearance. It helps you to test ideas quickly, make fast changes, and ensure the structure feels clear before adding any UI styling. Good wireframes make the UI design process faster, smoother, and more organized. This step is still part of UX. It's all about planning the experience before making it look beautiful. Now let's move on to the step 5, which is UI design, where things finally start look beautiful. Up until now, everything we have done has been planning, researching, and structuring the experience. But in this step, we took those wireframes and transformed them into real and visually polished screens. UI design is all about the look and the feel of the product. This is where you choose the colors, icons, buttons, and the overall visual style of the app. Whether the design feels modern, minimal, professional, dark mode, or colorful, that all comes from UI. Think of UI as the personality of your design. It gives your app an emotion, it makes the experience memorable, and it communicates the brand's identity. UI design brings the entire project to life, and when done right, it makes the experience not just functional but beautiful, enjoyable, and satisfying to use. Let's move on to the next step, which is prototyping. This is the moment your design finally starts to feel like a real app. Up until now, everything has been static, but in this step, we bring your UI screens to life by making them clickable and interactive. A prototype is basically a stimulation of your app. It lets you click through screens, see transitions, test interactions, and experience the flow all without writing a single line of code. In Figma, this means connecting buttons to pages, adding animations, and creating smooth transitions so that the user can move from one step to another exactly how they would in real life. For example, in our e-commerce app, you can tap from the product list to the product details, then to the cart, and finally to the checkout, just like a real shopping experience. Prototype helps you show your design to the clients, present your ideas clearly, test the user journey, and catch problems early. And the best part is you can prototype even as a beginner and it instantly make your work look more professional. Now, let's move on to the step 7, which is usability testing, one of the most important stages in the entire UI UX design process. This is where we stop designing and start observing. We test our prototype with real users to see if the experience is actually smooth, easy, and understandable. Because here is the truth, even the most beautiful design can fail if user can't figure out how to use it. During usability testing, we watch how people interact with our prototype and look for things like where they get confused, where they hesitate, which buttons they can't find, which actions feel frustrating. We are not testing the user, we are testing the design. If something is unclear, that means we need to fix it. For example, in our e-commerce app, the user might say, I didn't see the add to cart button or I'm not sure where to check my order status. These small issues reveal huge opportunities to improve the experience. And the best part is, fixing these issues at this stage is much easier and cheaper than fixing them after development. Usability testing helps you polish your design and make sure the final product feels smooth, intuitive, and user friendly, just the way it should. So, the final step is handover. This is where you give the final files and instructions to the developer or client. Make sure everything is organized, easy to understand, and ready to use. A good handover makes the whole project smoother and avoid confusion later. And that is a full UI UX design process which is clear, simple, and powerful. Follow these steps and you won't just design screens, you will design real experiences that users love. If you found this video helpful, smash the like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Keep creating, keep designing, and I will see you in the next video.